We interrupt this program to bring you an important Wayfair message. Wayfair's got style tips for every home. This is Nicole Byer, helping you make those rooms flyer. Today's style tip: when it comes to making a statement, treat bold patterns like neutrals. Go wild! Like an untamed animal print area rug under a rustic farmhouse table from Wayfair.com. Ooh, fierce! This has been your Wayfair style tip to keep those interiors superior.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
You have unread texts from Golf Buds. Would you like me to read them?
Yes.
Okay. Johnny says, what are the nicotine pouches you had on the course? Walker says, 8 milligram on nicotine pouches. Billy says, I love the mint one.
I like that one.
Walker says, me too. By the way, you both stink at golf. LOLOL.
Come on. Carry on nicotine pouches. Shop now at onnicotine.com/group text. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
It is time to leave your worries outside and laugh with us inside the Treehouse. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm today. It is Thursday, February 6, 2025. We are going to revisit a little bit more of the Luka Doncic trade drama, and I'm looking forward to that because while at some points this week I said I didn't care, and it was true then, they've pulled me back in, and I care again, and I'm going to share more thoughts with you today. But first, we're going to revisit the game of verses that we played yesterday inside the Treehouse. Yesterday on the show, I asked you, Trey and Raj, would you rather have your soulmate or $1 million? And the both of you said, without even thinking about it, I'm not even sure if, Trey, you let me finish the question. You said, give me the cash.
Yeah.
And I realized that I didn't even give you the context and the reason that I even asked you the question in the first place.
Okay.
I appreciate you letting me give it to you because I don't think it's going to change anything.
I don't either.
Answer. I just want to give you the context for how it is I came up with the question to pose to you guys. And that is a new service called Million Dollar Matchmaking promises to find your soulmate in under a year for the low, low price of $1 million. It's no surprise that this is a Los Angeles-based matchmaking service. And it's a 12-month program. The price tag covers the salaries of 3 people. So here's what you get for $1 million of matchmaking services, okay? Number 1, you get a dedicated recruiter. Just one slightly different word choice there, and we're talking about the Taken 4 sequel.
Yeah.
Anyway, in the 12-month program, that $1 million covers the salaries of 3 people. Here's what you get for that $1 million matchmaking service. Number 1, a dedicated recruiter. They'll fly all around the country to visit bars, gyms, concerts, and other spots to find you your perfect match. You get unlimited matches with full background checks. Wow. That is truly special. We've heard of headhunters for, corporate jobs.
And if she's my soulmate.
Amen, brother. Amen. Number 2, a matchmaker, of course. The matchmaker They'll help you make sure you're paired with the right people and also plan out your dates in minute detail. You do none of the legwork. Okay. Number 3, you get a dating coach. They will work with you and your dates on things like clothes, hair, and dating etiquette. I don't know if they mean your dates like the date itself or the person you're going on a date with. It's got to be the date, not the person. Because I can't imagine anyone being turned on by your dating coach critiquing them.
I agree with you.
Then number 4, if you get engaged less than 6 months after the program ends, they'll toss in a 3-carat engagement ring. So now what do you think about $1 million or your soulmate?
In the macro.
Oh, yes. Big picture.
If you have $1 million to waste on this, then it's sad because you could find your soulmate any night you wanted. Or in reality, all you could go find a hot chick to be your wingman for $100,000 a year. Plus you pay all the nights out and everything. And she could sniff out the good ones, the bad ones, and set you up. and you could do it for a lot cheaper. And then also, if you have $1 million to spend, a 3-carat ring, really? That's if you got that kind of cash, you're buying more than 3 carats.
Well, I mean, it depends on the color, the cut, the clarity.
And is it lab grown?
Something else to consider.
Mm-hmm.
Because what your soulmate, if you're okay with lab grown, you got to make sure your soulmate's okay with lab grown. It is interesting. I'll put it that way. The $1 Million Matchmaking. They're only taking on 3 clients, though. So you're going to get some dedicated service for your $1 million.
Again,
and they've already got over 100 people applied.
I mean, are they doing a reality show around this too?
There's no mention of it, but it sounds very much like it will be, or at the very least should be.
Yeah, it reeks of it. Because, again, I don't. If you have that kind of cash, and you're that lonely, there are bigger issues at play.
I really think finding romance on television ended with Flava Flav. I don't know if anyone could ever do it better. So why bother?
Hard to argue that one.
Mm-hmm.
But
so anyway, again, the $1 Million Matchmaking service, they're only choosing 3 people for it. They've already had over 100 people apply on just day 1 of them taking applications. One of the things they do offer, free advice that they offer if you want to, go out on your own. They say dress nice for your next flight. Airports are another spot where they will be looking to recruit dates because a lot of business travelers are just sitting there with tons of time to kill. So it's a good place for recruiters to strike up conversations. So,
and what are the? Do you get your money back if they don't find your soulmate?
I don't believe so. I'm not, I don't think there's a money back guarantee on this.
But they guarantee they'll find you your soulmate.
They guarantee it. Now that's the interesting thing. Again, it's $1 million, and they're only taking on 3 clients, so they get to choose which people they think they will have the best chance at finding a soulmate. The thing is, though, how do you even know it's a soulmate in the immediate? Because we all have infatuation. We have crushes at first. It may not be a soulmate. You just may have a huge crush on this person. The idea of whether or not someone is a soulmate, you may not find out for 30, 40 years. And this company will have folded long before then.
All they're going to do is they're going to find 3 tech nerds that have no social skills, dress them up. It's going to be like Can't Buy Me Love. And, and they're going to dress them up, make them look nice, and say, hey, that's your girl. And they go, okay.
Secretly, they've taken $500,000 of the dollars that you've given them and given it to her just to play the part.
Yeah.
Or the other route is you go through the year-long process as the recruiter and you realize this person is impossible and you just buy them a really expensive, squishy AI robot.
No, you
just say, this is your soulmate.
Remember Harlem Nights? You go find sunshine.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
833-COOK-DFW. That's the phone number you need to call Daniel Cook for your free roof inspection. 833-COOK-DFW and the website cookdfw.com. Daniel, Valentine's Day is coming up. What do you think is a really sexy gift to give your significant other?
It's a combination of thoughts that go through my mind when you ask that. So, unique locations to make love with your wife or significant other. What better place to be than on top of your roof, looking at the moon, the stars, while making passionate love? But you need to make sure your roof is sturdy enough to handle that. That's a lot of motion. And you don't want to have a sudden accident falling through your roof. That would be terrible. Make sure your roof is able to withstand that passion.
You want to make sure before you attempt this that you have a good, sturdy roof. Call Daniel, 833-COOK-DFW. If you decide not to take that advice and go up there and do it anyway, and then the two of you come crashing through your roof because it was not in good shape, then you still need to call Daniel to have him come out and fix it. 833-COOK-DFW or the website cookdfw.com.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
This segment of the Treehouse is brought to you by Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration. To get your free roof inspection, call Daniel Cook today, 833-COOK-DFW. That's 833-COOK-DFW, or go to cookdfw.com. Back inside the Treehouse now, I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm on Thursday, February 6, 2025. Sunday morning, we all woke up to learn that the Dallas Mavericks had made a blockbuster trade, sending Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers.
First of all, you woke up to it. I experienced real-time reaction at work when the news started filtering in. That was about midnight.
Were you happy? Were you sad, or sort of indifferent?
When I first heard the news, I was shocked. And probably at that point, sad and dismayed that the Mavs seemingly were giving up.
I too was shocked, but I was quickly indifferent because I am in a sports funk. I will absolutely freely admit it. I am in a sports funk. My favorite teams have been disappointing me lately. And by teams, I mainly mean the Cowboys. The Stars are a great organization. They're doing well. They're always competitive. The Rangers have a free pass for a while because they finally won a World Series. I'm happy with them.
The Rangers have a lifetime free pass now. I mean, I got to see them win a World Series. I'm good.
Yeah. But the Mavs were just kind of there. They were competitive. And I was indifferent to it because I was just mad at how the Cowboys had made me feel. And then the Mavs, in one fell swoop, managed to turn me against the organization. Now I laughed about it because I thought it was so ridiculous. I laughed about it and then quickly said, I choose not to care. But after careful analysis and being inundated with press conference videos and sound bites and things, I am now joining the throngs of fellow Mavs fans who are pissed off. So I'm going to share this with you real quick, Trey. This was, did you see any of the press conference that the Lakers had with Luka on Monday?
I did not.
The audio here is not as essential as Luka's face. Watch Luka's face as Lakers management is talking about the trade that brought Luka to the Lakers.
Instrumental.
Look at his face.
this opportunity to us, and then staying
First of
true
all,
to.
Luka is looking down. He looks lost. He looks shell-shocked. He is wearing a sweater pulled over a button-down shirt. He looks like a psychology student, not an NBA superstar.
He looks hungover.
He might be a little hungover. That also is certainly a possibility. But when you look at his face,
throughout where it could be
he's just
culminated with the trade being
joyless.
finalized and Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris becoming members of our team. So
he looks like a man who just got dumped, and that's exactly what happened. And it's probably the first time in his life he's ever been dumped, romantically or professionally. And it's a lot to take in. And you and I, Trey, we've been dumped. It's happened to the rest of the world, but this is probably the first time that it's happened to Luka. Lucky for him, we have experience in being dumped. We can now offer him professional advice. And this may be our only opportunity, Trey, because we don't have any NBA experience to offer him, but we have life experience. So here's what he can do now. Tell me if you disagree with any of this. A, Luka Doncic got dumped by the Mavs, and he was stunned and shocked by it. He wasn't expecting it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what he needs to do now is what all of us should do when we get dumped. Number one, go get you some therapy. Get right in the head. Become a better version of yourself mentally. Then you go get that revenge body. You look better than you've ever looked before. Number three, after you get that revenge body and your head's in the right space, then you go take some thirst trap photos and you post those all across social media, showing the Mavs what they're missing out on. Then you ball out and go get a trophy, showing them further what they've missed out on. That's what Luka needs to do to get over this breakup. Because if we're being honest, and I have experience with this, the best revenge is living your best life without them.
Well,
and we, the fans, will be left in the middle to awkwardly cheer for you.
So as far as, getting dumped, and you're right about those things. However, if I think they thought Luka could get that beach bod, they probably wouldn't have traded him. But let's not, because sometimes when we get dumped, we then forget we were miserable with that person. And all of a sudden we romanticize who that person was and we remember all their good qualities. We forget their bad. Let me remind you of something with Luka.
Okay.
So
which by the way, everything you just said is 1,000% accurate.
This
especially if you were the one that got dumped.
This is after, I believe, Game 3 of the finals. This is Brian Windhorst on SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt. Brian Windhorst is the lead NBA analyst, covers the NBA for ESPN.
Okay.
Dallas, this is their first time on this stage. Luka and Kyrie combined for actually more than Tatum and Brown did, but Luka fouls out late. I just wonder your reaction to that whole sequence.
Yeah, I thought it was perfect that Luka fell onto the ground there in an unacceptable position to put himself in with 4 minutes left with 5 fouls, and then immediately looks at the bench and says, "You better bleeping challenge it," as if it's the bench's fault that he just made a terrible play. I'm standing here in the Mavericks tunnel. Over there is the Celtics tunnel. That's where the winners are. If Luka's ever going to be a winner coming out of this tunnel here, he is going to have to use what's happened in this finals as a learning experience. His defensive performance is unacceptable. He is a hole on the court. The Celtics are attacking him. They are ahead in this series because they've attacked him defensively. And you've got a situation here where Luka is complaining about the officiating. They have begged him. They have talked with him. They have pleaded with him. He is costing his team because of how he treats the officials. He's a brilliant player. He does so many things well. They are here because of how he did. His performance in this game is unacceptable, and the reason why the Mavericks are not going to win.
How dare you, Trey? How dare you throw facts and figures and game tape in my face right in front of my feelings?
Well, sometimes we just need a reminder that our ex wasn't as great as we have, now that we got dumped, there were some problems in the relationship.
Yeah, but we could have worked through them. If just given a chance.
Love will conquer all.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com. You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
If you think the Treehouse show is funny, then you really need to check us out on social media. Give us a follow for more fun and laughs at Treehouse on Air across all the major social media platforms. That's at Treehouse on Air on social media. I'm Dan O'Malley along with Trey Trenholm back inside the Treehouse. Trey, do you remember being bored very much as a kid?
Sure.
What did you do about it?
I mean, usually go outside and play. I mean, if you could.
That's all I need.
Yeah.
That's all I need for now. We are now set up, okay? We are now set up for a generational beat down. All right, here we go. Teens are overwhelmed by boredom. And there's one big reason why. Can you guess that reason, Trey?
They don't play outside. They've learned all the video games.
That's part of it.
Phones.
Screen time.
Okay.
Screen time and social media. So screen time is sort of the big umbrella. Social media is a big chunk of underneath that umbrella. Young people are more bored than ever before, and social media, apps meant for entertainment and engagement, is one of the culprits. A 16-year-old spoke to Yahoo News, said that he used to be excited to go home after school and do homework. Now he's chronically bored. He says he watches the clock count by in class or dreads his family's digital detox days on which he craves his cell phone. Screen time, he said, is his crutch for boredom. So when he's bored, that's when he says he reaches for his phone. He'll scroll through Instagram, TikTok, and the other social media apps to see what his friends are up to. But then that leads to late night doom scrolling that affects his sleep. He even says, I don't even remember what I'm seeing, honestly. As soon as I'm off my phone, I feel horrible and ashamed. Citing survey data from the organization Monitoring the Future, Yahoo News reported that boredom is on the rise among tweens and teens. 45% of high school seniors responded they agreed or mostly agreed with the statement, I am often bored. And these numbers just keep going up. A marriage and family therapist says that boredom is just the intolerance of it. She says a lot of it is due to the constant screen use and having that ability to avoid boredom with the screen. Boredom is the seed of creativity. But when people are avoiding boredom all the time, they never need to create, learn a skill, do art, or go outside and make friends. I still remember the time I went to my mom and said, Mom, I'm bored. You want to know what my mom's response was when I told her I was bored? She said, why don't you go bang your head against a wall? In hindsight, probably not the best advice because I'm pretty sure that's what I did. And that may be the reason I have so many head issues as an adult. But it served its purpose. She made a solid point at the time, a solid, hard point. That was, I don't want to hear it. Go do something about it.
Well, I know growing up if I ever went to my parents and said, I'm bored, the number one thing they would say is you need to learn to entertain yourself.
Yep.
And
that's what my mom was saying when she said, if you're bored, go bang your head against a wall. That's the same thing, just with more specific.
At best, when early teens, I had a effing Atari. Other than that, you had to go outside and play, run around, do something. I remember at one point I had one of those nets where you could throw the baseball at it and it would bounce back at you, and
oh yeah. You ever break it? You ever break it? I broke mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's they don't. I've seen it firsthand. They literally, it's if they're not online, they have no clue what to do.
It's astonishing to me because I forget where this story was. I'd have to do some quick Googling. I don't know if it was during a power outage or if it was an internet outage. Either way, the internet was down in some neighborhood, and the kids all kind of moseyed outside like it was The Walking Dead, and they've never seen the light of day. Just like, "Ugh," and they didn't know what to do. And I think back very fondly of my childhood when it comes to all the things I was able to do. And we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. It's like, oh, if you could play with one toy from your childhood as an adult, what would it be? And I said, I occasionally will still see like rocks and stuff outside and think, ooh, that'd make a good G.I. Joe battlefield. But I really do. Will think back fondly as my time as a kid and think, I really don't ever recall really being actually bored because I had so much to do. I had a Nintendo at one point, a Sega, I had an Atari at one point, and not necessarily all at the same time, but that's just the video games. Then I had books, cartoon books, comic book type stuff. I had G.I. Joe action figures. I had Thundercats. I had the starting lineup football figurines, the little green army men, had it all. I think back on it now, and I kind of wish I had all that stuff because I know I would never be bored again.
Now, did you actually have that stuff, or did your parents just tell you that you had that stuff after you were banging your head against the wall?
Wow. You've really opened my eyes, Trey. Now I don't know what's real and what was just post concussion imagining. I also had stars and birdies as pets.
Yeah.
They just flew around my head. Oh,
I mean,
that explains the pony.
Yeah. Unicorn, you thought was your friend.
It was my introduction to pegging. I'm just gonna go now.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
It is time to advertise right here inside the Treehouse. To take advantage of sponsorship opportunities that are available right now, just shoot us an email. treehouseonair@gmail.com. That's treehouseonair@gmail.com to advertise right here inside the Treehouse. Dan and Trey with you today inside the Treehouse, Thursday, February 6, 2025. We were just talking about how teens are overwhelmed by boredom these days. And I was just fondly remembering my childhood and how much fun I was able to have inside or outside. And I even forgot about my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figurines. I had lots of good stuff as a kid, man.
Well, one of the things kids do not do nearly as much as we used to is ride their bikes. I mean,
you're right. Come to think of it, I don't really recall seeing kids out riding bikes. I mean, I see plenty of 50-year-old men in spandex riding bicycles that I wish I wouldn't.
Well, and now you see them on the electric bicycles that are basically like scooters. Yeah. But that was one thing. If you were bored, you got on your bike, you started riding around, see if you saw some friends, whatever, and go screw around. It's just they are so glued. Glued to screens, and that they're helpless without them.
Yeah, it's important that I think parents need to stop coddling their kids, and that's not a new thing. I think that's true for every generation. Each generation that comes seems to be guilty of the previous generation of coddling their children too much, but I really think that's the case these days. They need to be able to learn consequences and mistakes and things. And they also need to learn how to use their legs. They need to learn how to go outside and do things for themselves instead of relying on their parents to do it. Because then that makes you a well-rounded adult. So that way you don't end up on having hobbies that are considered the least attractive according to women. See that? That right there is what we call a segue here in the biz. Smooth. So, yeah, thank you. The least attractive male hobbies according to women. Trey, what do you think? What do you think some of those would be? Least attractive male hobbies according to women.
Ugh. Hunting.
That actually is not on here. So try harder. Oh, wait, actually, taxidermy did make the list.
Okay.
So yeah, there you go. And I don't think it's the hunting part. I think it's more the taxidermy.
Well, yeah,
I think
taxidermy.
a lot of women, especially in our great state of Texas, are fine with you hunting. They just don't want you, cleaning and dressing the things in the kitchen. Because then they think you're gonna, be a serial killer.
Least attractive male hobbies.
Think of all the things, Trey, you would not be caught doing.
I'm just drawing a blank right now.
Wow. Maybe that's a good thing. Some of the worst culprits, some of the least attractive male hobbies, according to women, in addition to taxidermy, model trains.
Okay.
Gambling. That's something you do.
I do not anymore, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
You've given up booze and gambling?
Yeah, I pretty much gave up gambling when I gave up booze.
Don't they tell you not to give up too much at once? It's dangerous.
Yeah, well, gambling's another way, it's.
But you haven't given up women.
Yeah, no. But when you have an addictive personality, gambling certainly feeds right into it. And, as they are now someone's trying to start a class action lawsuit against the gambling companies.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. So
the other least attractive male hobbies, according to women, online bullying / trolling. Chicks are also not into magic tricks. Collecting figurines like Funko Pops, starting lineups, and maybe sporting memorabilia, stuff like that. So that's something that some of us got to watch out for. And number one of the least attractive hobbies for men, according to women, video games. I still, as an adult, I still play video games. My wife's not a big fan of it, but I grew up playing them. And I've also seen scientific studies that say it's good for our brains to play video games. And I'm going to die on that hill.
I mean, and
with a controller in my hand.
That's the sad thing. I have not had a gaming system since a Sega, and same principle as drinking and gambling is I'm so bad. Maybe as an adult this far in my life, I could handle it. But for years, I always knew that if I got a game and I got really into it, like I would stay up too late, lose sleep, and other functions in my life would suffer.
There is precedence here. You can still be wildly successful and still be into video games. The best example is Elon Musk. Not only is he the richest man in the world, but he's also the number one ranked Diablo video game player in the world.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Now, all of his employees work 120-hour weeks and dog cuss him left and right, but he's fine.
Yeah.
Now, so I've given you the least attractive hobbies for men according to women. So I think it's only fair that we at least tell you what some of the attractive hobbies, what are the most attractive hobbies that men can have according to women. So if you play video games and you like to bully people online and you like to gamble, you need to balance that out with some good things like cooking, learning or speaking a foreign language, reading, painting, hiking, traveling, swimming, and the number one hobby that women think is attractive, playing an instrument. Oh, and there's one other big one that I almost forgot to leave off here. Blacksmithing. Women think it's hot if you're into blacksmithing. So if you want to look really attractive to a woman, go shoe a horse while reading a book, having just gone for a swim, and writing a song you're going to play for her on your guitar, and you're in like Flynn.
The one on there that I absolutely find total BS, and maybe it's because we live in Texas and it's very flat. The whole hiking thing. I don't know anyone who actually, you're the only person I know, but that was on a trip that went for, goes on a hike. Like you went to, is it Mount Rainier? And when you were in Washington? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But in general, I don't know a lot of people that on the daily go for a hike. Now, I know online you'll see people say, "Oh, I love going for a hike." Do you? Do you really?
Chances are that was one hike they did 3 years ago, and they're just chopping up different videos. They probably had 5 or 6 different outfit changes just to make it look like they hike all the time. When in the reality, they're just on their couch wearing their Snuggie. And the only hiking they do is back and forth from the kitchen.
Yeah. Watching true crime documentaries about someone who got killed hiking.
And that's why you don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com. You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
If you miss any part of the Treehouse show, you can catch up with the Treehouse Show podcast, available on all major streaming and podcasting platforms like Spotify, the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or you can subscribe on our website, treehouseonair.com. That's once again the Treehouse Show podcast, Spotify, iHeart, Apple, or treehouseonair.com. Dan O'Malley and Trey Trenholm with you inside the Treehouse. It is Thursday, February 6, 2025. Let's celebrate with some birthdays. What do you say? This is actually pretty good. We had just talked about a couple days ago that the creators of Stranger Things are working on a new show that is going to be called The Burrows. That is also going to be a supernatural show, but instead of it being kids on bicycles, it's going to be based in a retirement community, so they'll be on golf carts instead. I say that because today in birthdays, Charlie Heaton is 31. Charlie Heaton plays Jonathan Byers on Stranger Things. That's the older brother that looks a little bit like our Jerry Caldwell.
Okay.
He's the one that in the last season, he was the one always smoking weed with Argyle, the pizza boy. Right. Yeah. So that's the older brother. Again, when we see Jerry tomorrow, Trey, I'm telling you, those two are related somehow. It's very possible. So anyway, Charlie Heaton is 31 today, while keeping in mind that he plays, I think, like a 20-year-old.
I just hope they I hope they finish off Stranger Things. I hope it wasn't a money grab and they really do it right and it ends on a high note. I am tired of series that I feel like just came back for another season that was just a money grab.
Yeah, I'm tired of the mega disappointment, the biggest being Game of Thrones. For a show that was excruciatingly slow, with the exception of its final season, it just felt like they hurried through it because they did. Because they had gotten a development deal with Disney / Lucasfilm. They were going to run off and do Star Wars stuff, but there was a consequence to that. They botched that final season of Game of Thrones so badly that Star Wars thing got yanked away from them.
I couldn't get past the first season of Game of Thrones, so it just didn't affect me.
Well, I guess you're lucky, but I'm with you on the Stranger Things. I have such high hopes. I really hope that they stick the landing on this thing. But again, and then this is dangerous because I have difficulty with expectations and being disappointed of my own lofty expectations, right? And being disappointed by others. I really think they can pull it off.
I mean, did you watch Umbrella Academy?
I did not. I mean, I watched some of it, but I never fully got engrossed in it. So I watched some of it, but it just didn't grab me.
It was really good. And they ended the third season where you tied it all up. It was good. It was good to, I honestly, I thought, all right, that was it. Hey, good series.
Yeah.
And then they came out with 4 seasons, just crap, just an absolute money grab crap.
Sometimes you just need to just let it go and wrap it up beautifully and then go on to something else.
And that reminds me of something else. One of your movie reviews, I'm going to say, was not so good. Saturday Night.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I said that was great. I said it was interesting because they followed minute by minute everything that led up to the very first Saturday Night Live episode. The performances by the people portraying the real life, people I thought were really, really good. The guy that played Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, Billy Crystal, all those people I thought were really, really good.
I mean, them portraying Belushi with Garrett, who's the black guy's name? I've just drew a blank.
Oh, Garrett Morris.
Garrett Morris. When he reaches in his back pocket, pulls out a vial of Coke, and snorts the entire vial.
The 70s.
Yeah. That and Uncle Milty whipping it out. Those are the two.
See? Memorable. It's not the best movie ever. It's not going to be one that I'm going to want to go back and rewatch or anything. But it was an interesting film, and the performances I thought were really good, and the backstory was interesting.
It was I'm not sad I watched it. I thought you kind of said it was good. You're interesting is the perfect word to describe it.
The movie was interesting. I thought the performances were really good by some of the actors portraying those people. Yeah. Have you seen Heretic yet? That's the one with Hugh Grant that I recommended as well that we watched.
I've not seen that one yet.
I'm curious to see if you like that one. Other birthdays today. Crystal Reed turns 40. She plays Sophia Falcone on Gotham. She was also Allison Argent on MTV's Teen Wolf. Chris Humphries, who was married to Kim Kardashian for all of 72 days, is 40. Rick Astley, he'll never give us up and never let us down. He is 59 today. Axl Rose is 63. Happy birthday to that hip swinging legend.
He looks like an old woman.
It's so weird. I'll occasionally see the memes where it's like these badass rock stars in old age now look like old lesbians, and is Paul McCartney and Axl Rose. They really do. They look like they could, be driving somewhere in Seattle or Portland in their Subaru. Ready to go for a hike with their husky.
Yeah.
It's what it is. It's just, look. There are two things that most of us cannot escape, old age and death. And she comes for us all. And the good news is some of us have a chance to look better in old age than others. We're all going to look like hell. It's just a matter of what degree of hell are we going to look like. And if I can avoid the old lesbian look that Axl Rose and others have been, subjected to, I'll feel pretty good about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's number one, don't get fat.
That's a huge help.
Yep.
huge help. Maintain a diet and exercise regimen, and don't get hooked on cocaine earlier in your life.
Yeah. That's
because the boomerang effect on that cocaine seems to be really, really bad.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com. You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Just like Aaron said right there, for all things Treehouse, go to treehouseonair.com. That means past shows, links, contact info, and more, all right there on our website, treehouseonair.com. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm, back inside the Treehouse with you. One last thing before we close up the Treehouse for the day and get ready for our Friday edition, and that is this. A Minnesota state senator wants to make it legal to eat beavers again.
God bless him.
Trey, you sent me this, and this is real?
Yeah.
A Minnesota state senator, Grant Hochschild, is looking to change the law in the state to make it legal to eat beavers again. It's not huge. Beavers aren't normally eaten, but it is low in fat. Oh, God.
And
Really?
some people say he's catering to the lesbian vote, but
You know, the irony, Trey, is that you are really out and proud of that joke. I kind of now feel like when you get a really good punchline on the show, you should wave a little rainbow flag. I made an FO, a funny one. Oh, God. For all things Treehouse, go to treehouseonair.com. You can also find and follow us on social media at Treehouse On Air. For me, it's at the Dan O'Malley. For Trey, it's at Trey Trenholm 1. We'll see you tomorrow right here inside the Treehouse.